Lina and Ahmed.
The mistake in I think D.
No, this is okay. Across nearly all the north of North America.
Acrossly near. I was saying.
So I'd like to do something. When should we add ly? Ahmed, when should we add ly? To which parts of speech we should add ly? احنا بنضيف ly لحاجتين، يا اما الصفة نضيف لها ly. Sometimes we add ly to the adjective in order to turn it into an adverb, like quickly, right? Like fluently, like pretty, beautifully, like most adjectives in English. When you add ly to the adjective, you turn it into an adverb, right? Or we can turn ly to some nouns in order to turn them into adjectives, like monthly, like friendly, like sisterly, like brotherly, like yearly. But we have never in English, we shouldn't add ly to a preposition. ما ينفعش اضيف ly لحرف جر. across is a preposition. ما اقدرش اقول acrossly. you see؟ بالظبط كده زي انك واحده كانت بتقول لها مس، لا قعدت لها I am sit downing، قالت لها مش بتقول لها I am sitting down، قالت لها I am sit downing, and the teacher kept laughing. So the point is here, as I told you, we shouldn't say acrossly because across is a preposition حرف جر. احنا مش بنضيف ly للحرف جر ابدا. We, as I told you, we add ly to the adjective to turn it into an adverb, or we can add ly to the noun to turn it into an adjective, like friendly. Okay, like quickly, but I could never say ontly or intly or inly. No, so these okay. يعني نير اصلا كانت صفه، nearly، لان nearly مش صفه، near برضه تستخدم كحرف جر، بس هنا nearly تقريبا يعني it's a word in English. So the mistake here is C, believe it or not. Why? Because in English, some maybe 5 or 6 adjectives in English can never be used before the nouns. يعني في 6 صفات في اللغة الإنجليزية ما ينفعش أحطهم قبل الاسم أبداً، زي كلمة alive، زي كلمة alike، زي كلمة asleep. You see, alike, alive, asleep, these words, and mostly speaking, asleep or alike or alive, yeah, they are not used before the noun at all. You can say she's still alive, she is still alive. So what should we add here? We should say living wolves roamed across nearly all of North America. So why? Because as I told you, these adjectives starting with al, like alive, alike, or asleep, and so on, are not used before the nouns at all. I can never say, oh, look at asleep baby. No, I can say the baby is asleep, not asleep baby. Not alike friends. No, they're alike. My friends and I are alike. It means similar. I can never say alike friends. No, similar friends. So some, like YC is wrong, as I told you, because like very few adjectives in English should not be used before the noun. And alive is one of them. Alive, alike, asleep. Mostly speaking, this is what I remember now. Alive, alike, asleep. They're not used before the noun at all. They're not used before the noun. So what about 35? Who can answer 35?
Me.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, I'm sorry.
Who can answer it? Whose turn is this? Ahmed. Yeah, it's your turn, Ahmed. Yes. 35.
Okay. During the 1960s, the Berkeley campus of the University of California came to national attention as a result its radical political activity.
Political activity. What is the mistake here?
A is not wrong.
Okay. So A is right. Very good.
Yes.
Very good. What about B? In 1960, you know, the Berkeley campus معناه الحرم الجامعي.
It's right.
Yeah, right. Very good, because speak about the past. In 1960s and came in the past. Yeah. So is it C or D?
Okay, 1 second. C.
C, very good. It should be. So C is wrong. It should be what? So this one is wrong. It should be. What do we have here? As a result of, and then a missing preposition. Yeah, as a result of its radical political activity. وخلي بالكم دايما من كلمة radical. radical صفة وحشة جدا. radical معناها extreme، متطرف. ما تديش معنى يعني دايما متطرف وحش. radical political activity which means like the political parts that you do it was radical extreme. Yes. So here results of why, because we have a missing preposition. Now 36 عمرو.
Yes,
Yes honey. 36 what is the mistake?
artists got
So do you think is it A or B or C or D? Just what about A? Is it correct? A. Is it correct? A? Is it correct? If I said, for example, if I said Dr. Amr did so and so, teacher Huda did so and so, actor like الاسم الغريب ده did so and so. So is it correct or incorrect? Amr, is it correct or incorrect?
correct.
Correct. Very good. So A is correct. Now we have B, C, and D. Which one you're sure is correct? Which one here you think that 100% sure you know it's correct? Which one? You know it's, yeah, D is correct. Excellent. Yeah, very good. So here the mistake should be project or until. Which one you think is wrong? He, he designs, the Mount Rushmore Memorial and worked on project from 1925 until his death in 1941. Which one
I
here?
knew it.
B.
So easy.
Yes, which one? Which one you think? B, excellent. Yeah, why? B is wrong. Why? It should be what? It should be what? He worked on a project. Why? Because the word project is a countable singular noun. I couldn't say, for example, I read book. I should say I read a book. I bought a dress. I shouldn't say I bought dress. Why? In English, when the noun is singular, countable, in that case, you should add a or an or the article or possessive adjective before it. I shouldn't say, for example, yeah, I met boy. What I met boy? I met a boy. I saw a boy. I draw a picture. I drew a picture. You see? Okay, very good, Amr. Very good. Now, Lulu, 37. See, we have only this. After this one, we're going to continue reading. Yes. So 37. Yes. Now, Lulu.
It is proving less costly and more profitably and for drug markets to market directly to patients.
Yes, to patient. Yes.
A.
Yeah, Albi, this one is hard. It is not hard. It is not hard, but just, it takes time. Yes. By the way, all of them, like starting from 37, they require concentration. So, okay, Lulu. A, is it A correct or incorrect?
I think it's incorrect.
It is correct. Why? Because the word costly, believe it or not, the word costly is used as an adjective, which means expensive. So the word costly in English, the word costly, if you Google it, you will see that it's used as an adjective, which means expensive. So you can see. So I can say, for example, it's a costly jacket. It means it's a very expensive jacket. So A is correct. A is correct. So what about B, C, and D? Adjective. احنا عندنا صفة. الصفة المفروض يكون معطوف عليها صفة ولا حال؟ If I have an adjective and use and, so I can say, for example, she's smart and quickly. Can I say that? Or she's smart and quick, for example. Or she's smart but quick. Yeah, quick. So here, profitably is wrong. Why? Simply because the word profitably is an adverb. It comes from the adjective profitable. So this is an adverb. So how can I say costly? Costly is an adjective. There are about 30 words in English ending in ly, and all these words are adjective, like friendly, brotherly, sisterly, motherly, monthly, weekly, yearly, lively, lovely. You see these words, all of them are adjectives. So proving, this is a linking verb. Prove linking verb مش action verb. فبعديه بنجيب صفة adjective يبقى costly and more profitable, not profitably. Costly and more profitable. هي أقل تكلفة وأكثر نفعا for drug makers to market directly to patients. اللي هم اللي بيصنعوا الدواء علشان يسوقوا الأدوية مباشرة للبيشنت. يعني لما شركة الدواء تبيع مباشرة للمريض هيكون أقل تكلفة less costly and also more profitable. يعني أقل تكلفة للمريض وأكثر نفعا للشركة. then this is a mistake. Profitably, it should be profitable. Why? Because we need an adjective. Why? Because costly is an adjective. Why? Because proving is a linking verb. Like you can say, it is, remove proving. Linking verb, we can remove it. So you can say, yeah, it is less costly. It is less costly and more profitable. أقل تكلفة وأكثر نفعا. So this B here is incorrect. Yes. What about 38? Now, what about 38? Ahmed, 38. Where's the mistake here?
Hi. Okay. Suffer. Can you? Okay. Suffer is weighing as much as 2 pounds. Have no occasion mind. Bismillah. D is correct.
Why this is correct?
Oh my God.
Why do you think this is incorrect? Sorry, why do you think that this is correct? So just to look here, so far this is subject, right? And here we have verb, right? And waning here, this is an adjective describing sapphire. Yes, because if I said weighted, no, as much as to have. So like here, as much as also correct, because as much as, and 2 pounds also correct, 2 and pound. So here we have definitely B and C are correct, as much as 2 pounds. So B and C are definitely correct. Okay, so here we have A and we have D. Which one you think is wrong?
D.
D. Why D is wrong?
Mine.
No, mind. No, just like here we should say, for example, like an occasion of being mind, an occasion of being mind. So here there are missing words here. I can never say on occasion mind. It is not correct. I can say on mind occasion. It would be okay. Like في حالة التعدين or on occasion of being mind. But I can never say on occasion mind. So in that sentence, this is a missing word. So D here is wrong. And what about weighing? Weighing is an adjective participle describing sapphires. So here we have, this is a mistake, mind. This is a mistake. Yes. What about 39? Amr. Yes, Amr. What about 39? What is the mistake here? This one is easy, not hard.
C.
C, excellent. It should be. Yeah, very good. Very good, Amr. C is wrong. It should be what? All others continents. It should be all other. Excellent. It's the same as Lena's question. You see, their banks, their costs. So their, not theirs. And here also others. The word others is not followed by a noun. I can say others believe, but I can say other people believe. So in that case, we should remove S. Yes. Now, Lulu, number 40. This is the last question today. Yes. So number 40. Banks. Yes.
Saving and loans and
Finance.
have recently begun doing home equity loans with great frequency than ever before.
Think of one by one. Have recently. Is it wrong?
No.
Excellent. So A is correct. So now we have B, we have C, and we have D. Ever before. Is it wrong? Ever before. Like this phrase. Is it wrong? Like, I have never seen it ever before. Is it wrong?
Yes.
Why wrong? This is an expression, like, I have never done this ever before. I haven't done that ever before. So ever before is also correct. So now the mistake could be B or C. So do you think, is it B or C? And here we have than, so can say greater than, right?
Yes.
So the mistake here is B, it should be make. So she can say they had been making home equity, and inshallah today I will send you the words that are used with make and the words that which are used with do. So mostly speaking, in most exams, like, they have this kind of question, like, some words should be used with make and other words should be used with do. So I can never say, for example, I did a mistake, it's wrong. I shouldn't say I did a cake, it's wrong. I shouldn't say I did my bed, it's wrong. I have to say I made my bed, I make a cake, or I made a cake, I made a mistake, and so on. And also you can never say, someone told me once, I made something wrong. So you shouldn't say I made something, say I did something wrong. I didn't do anything. You shouldn't say I didn't make anything. It's wrong in English. So in English, some words are used with make, other words are used with do. And inshallah today I will send you like which is which words are used with make and which are used with do. So now let's move on. Next time, inshallah, we're going to have another test, another grammar test. You see, like the book is big, like it's a big book. Like we have so many exercises there. So we can, inshallah, every time we're going to have some of them, inshallah. So now let's continue this one. We're going to have grammar. We're going to just leave. Okay. So we're going to continue chapter 4. I'd like someone to remind me what happened at the beginning of chapter 3. Why? Yes. What happened at the beginning of chapter 3? At chapter 4. So what did we take last time? Do you remember what we took last time?
Yes.
Yes, honey. What happened last time?
Jack didn't succeeded in his hunting.
Excellent. Jack never succeeded in doing, in hunting. He couldn't hunt anything. And what about Ralph? What was he doing, Ralph?
House or
building the shelters. Yes. Yeah. So Ralph was trying to build shelters, and who helped him? Who was helping him? Simon. And Simon represented what? Ahmed and Amr. Ahmed. Lina, mashallah, Lina, like this passage, the story is mainly about boys. Like seriously, it's about boys. Like we don't have any girls here. And Lina, mashallah, she's so active when she answers the question. So I'd like you also to be actively participating. So what does Simon represent? Simon represents what?
Angel.
Angelic part. Excellent. Spiritual part. Like we as humans, we are like, we have two parts, the good parts and the bad parts. So usually speaking, Simon represents this kind of a spiritual part, like the angelic part of humans, because like he loved nature. But does anyone look at Simon as a normal person?
No.
They describe him as what? They describe him as queer. Queer means like odd or strange or weird or funny. It also means funny. So like Simon, yeah. And what did he do? Usually speaking, he wanted to stay alone, meditating in nature, staying with connecting with nature and the clearance of the forest. And he was so kind, like as angels, he was helping young children. And then at the beginning of chapter 4, we had the description of 3 young children, little ones, and we have, what were they doing? And we had also, we have Henry and Percival, and we have Roger and Maurice, like they were older than them, and they were destroying their castle, and they were trying to scare them, right? But they wanted to scare them, and they even one of them filled the eyes of Percival with the sand, but he couldn't, he felt guilty. So till now, if you remember, I told you, till now they have this little bit of civilization. They know there were no parents, there was no law, there were no policemen, but despite that, they couldn't harm each other, because they knew that they shouldn't. They're British, and British people are supposed to be civilized. This is a mistake, So what happened after that? Today, two important, extremely important, not two, yeah, and we spoke about Jack. What did Jack do? Like last time, what did he do? What did he do? Like last time, the last things that we read, what did he do? Jack. What did he do? What did he do with his face?
Can I say?
Okay, Lina, what did he do, honey?
He drew on his face so that pigs couldn't notice him.
Yes, very good. He drew on his face because he said that the didn't smell me, they see me. He said that they saw me. So in order to make sure that they didn't saw him, he painted his face in red, black, and red, white, and black, right? And the mask, was it good? The mask that he bought, like this kind of paint, was it good?
No.
Was it?
Yes.
It was frightening. It was frightening. The mask compelled them. Imagine, it was frightening to the degree that the children followed him because he felt compelled. And even he himself, when he looked at himself, like he didn't look. He said that he didn't look to himself anymore. He's no longer looking at himself. He's looking at an awesome stranger, and he felt free. He felt free, like, liberated. He felt that now he's free. He should do whatever he wants. He forgot about his own civilization. Forgot about like being a British boy or an English boy, and he acted as a savage person. And then he compelled them just, to follow him. And after that, we had Ralph and Biggie. Like Biggie went to Ralph and he told him, we want to do something. So what did he tell him? Biggie told Ralph to do what?
Like a clock.
Yeah, about a clock. He told them that let's make a clock. And then Ralph, what was the reaction of Ralph? Did he like the idea, or did he make fun of it? No, he didn't like the idea. He made fun of Biggie. He made fun of him. He told them, yeah, we could make,
Yes, and an airplane and TV set.
yeah. And then he wasn't Ralph hated that attitude. I mean, like, he was complaining that he was working really hard. He said that I worked dashed hard and nobody cared except Simon. He said that. And he said that all of the others are playing or swimming or dancing. They only work for 5 minutes and then they go off, like they went away, right? So he said that, yeah, okay, let's have an idea. So Biggie, believe it or not, Biggie, I didn't know that he was making fun of him. I said that, no, we have to have a lot of metal. And he was, he took him, like, he didn't take him, like, he took him seriously. He said that Ralph was like, let's have an airplane, a TV set, and other. He said that, but we have got a stick. He told him it's okay. Ralph turned and smiled involuntarily because, like, Ralph understood that Biggie didn't even understand that he was, like, joking. So anyway, like, he looked at him, and then he pulling his leg. Remember, pulling his leg. What does pulling his leg mean? This is an expression in English. It's an idiom. Pulling his leg. Like pulling his leg. What does it mean to pull someone's leg? What does it mean?
No.
Pulling someone's leg means making a joke. Like, for example, if I told you, you know what, we're going to stop now. Like, I'm going to end the class now, so you can go. So now I'm pulling their leg. It's not real. I'm just tricking you. So pulling someone's leg, it means, like, tricking this person, not telling this person the truth as a trick. So now here, Ralph was pulling his leg. It means, like, Ralph was, like, making a joke. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean that, okay, let's for sure make an airplane or a TV set and others. Yeah, but anyway, Biggie didn't understand that, and Biggie smiled. Biggie saw the smile, and he misinterpreted as friendliness. He thought that Ralph is extremely friendly. That's why he smiled. But in fact, Ralph is, like, smiled because Biggie didn't understand his joke. Yeah. It's true. أولاد هيحملنا مصايب ربنا يستر. So they had grown up tacitly among the Biggins and the Bunions that Biggie was an outsider. Yeah, there's a problem here. Biggie was always dealt with as an outsider. What does outsider mean? Big people there, big children or big boys, like, they always had this idea that Biggie was an outsider. What does outsider mean? Outsider.
Useless?
No, outsider means a stranger. He's not one of them. Outsider. Out comes from the word out. So outsider means, like, he's like an intruder, but he doesn't fit in. He was a stranger. He wasn't by one of them. Why? Because his accent was different, like the way he speaks was different, and also because he was fat, and also because of his asthma, and also because of his glasses, okay? And also because he hated manual work. He hated to work. He hated doing anything. He hated to make a fire with them, and he hated to collect wood, and he hated to look after the fire, and he hated to build shelters. So, and he was, like, for them, he was fat, and his accent was different, and he had asthma, and he said, like, nobody even at school had asthma except him, and he was wearing glasses, and he hated labor, like, means hard work. So for all this reason, they always looked at Biggie as, like, a outsider. Now, finding that something he had said made Ralph smile, he rejoiced and praised his advantage. Like, he said that, and Biggie also had this feeling. He knew that they didn't like him. But just when he saw Ralph smiling, like, he felt happy. Rejoice means he felt happy, and praises it, and it continued. Yes. He said, we've got a lot of sticks. We could have a sundial each. Then we should know what the time was. So a fat lot of good that would be. He said that you said you wanted things done, so we could be rescued. Oh, shut up. Like now, suddenly, something happened. What happened here?
Ralph got angry.
Yeah, Ralph was, yeah, what happened? Yes, yeah, Ralph became angry at the end, but what happened so that he could, like, he became very angry? What happened? Amr, Ahmed, what happened here? What did he see? He saw something. He saw something, and then he became extremely angry. So what happened here?
He saw that they are really building a clock.
No. You see, like Biggie was talking to him, and Ralph didn't like to speak with Biggie. He wanted to change the subject. So once he saw Maurice, like both of them, they went swimming. You see, and they didn't care that much about, about Biggie. They left Biggie, but something happened. Something happened. What happened?
Biggie made a bad thing.
No. What happened? Something happened. What happened?
Stop, the fire stopped.
No. You see what happened? Biggie, like, something happened. What happened? Like Ralph was swimming and suddenly he rolled on his stomach and pretended not to see. And then the next moment he was on his feet. Ralph was sleeping and he didn't care. Like, he came out of water and he started, like, he pretended not to care at all. And suddenly he stood up and he started shouting. He said, smoke, smoke. So what does smoke mean? Smoke.
There is a ship.
Yeah, there was a ship. So there was a smoke. Was there a smoke so that the ship could see the smoke and rescue them?
No,
No. Why? Very good. Why?
because Jack didn't took
Excellent.
it.
Excellent. Very good, Lena. Very good, Lena. You see why? Like Jack and his hunters were responsible for two things or for three things, mostly speaking. Number one, to hunt. Responsible for hunting. Number two, they're responsible for keeping the fire on. And number three, they were responsible for tracking ships. So what happened? Like what happened here? Ralph saw a smoke and he kept like saying smoke, smoke, and he kept running in order to see it. Yes. And and he didn't. Of all the boys, only Ralph was still, I can't see no smoke. Biggie said that I can't see any smoke. Remember, Biggie's accent is always wrong. Like double negation. Can't and no in one sentence is wrong, grammatically speaking. He said, I can't again. I can't see no smoke. Again, where it is? Where is it, Ralph? Ralph said nothing, and now both his hands were clenched over his forehead so that the fair hair was kept out of his eyes. He was leaning forward, and already the salt was whitening his body. Ralph, where is the ship? Like Biggie kept asking, where is the ship? Where is the ship? Simon stood by, looking from Ralph to the horizon, and Maurice's trousers gave away with like sigh, and he abandoned them as wreck. Anyway, the smoke was tight little knot on the horizon and was uncoiling slowly. This is the smoke of the ship. Okay, so now the ship was moving away from them. So he said that Ralph was pale. Ralph's face was pale, well, extremely yellow, like white, because he was sad and he didn't like it. He spoke to himself. They will see our smoke. He says that they can't see our smoke. Biggie was looking in the right direction now. He says that I don't look much, like I can't see well. Biggie would like to say that I can't see well. He turned
Very
around.
good English.
Yes, yeah, his English is not good. Yes. Yeah, it don't look much, like he says that, he speaks about the fire. Yeah, it don't look much, like, he speaks about he was speaking about the fire. He didn't say I, sorry, I heard it I. He turned around and peered at the mountain. Ralph continued to watch the ship. Color was coming back into his face. Simon stood by him silent. I know I can't see very much, Biggie said that, but have we got any smoke? Like, look, they looked at the mountain for the smoke so that the ship could see, like people on the ship could see the smoke. But the problem is the fire was out. There was no fire. Like, why? Because Jack and his hunter forgot about the fire. You see, they forgot about the fire. The fire was like, was put out. So Ralph he became impatient and he was watching the ship, the smoke on the mountain. Then he ran to Ralph. Maurice came running and stared at the sea. Both Simon and Biggie were looking up at the mountain. Biggie screwed up his face, but Simon cried out as though he had hurt himself. Ralph, Ralph, the quality of his speech twisted Ralph on the sand. You tell me, is there a signal? Like now Biggie couldn't see well, and he's saying that is like now there was a ship, and there's a huge probability that this ship could like take them away to their like homes. But the problem is there was no fire, and how could people in the ship understand that there were still boys on the island? So now Ralph looked back at the dispersing smoke in the horizon, then up to the mountain. Ralph, please, is there a signal? Biggie keeps asking question, and no one replies. No one answered. No one like answers his question. Simon put out his hand timidly to touch Ralph, but Ralph started to run, flashing at. So Ralph kept running, kept running till he reached the mountain, and Biggie kept shouting, "Ralph, please, Ralph, like wait for him." But Ralph didn't wait for anyone. And once they reached the landward end of the scar, he was using precious, he was like out of breath. He couldn't breathe well, you see. And then, like he didn't know, like should he take the biggest like specs, like the glasses of Biggie, in order to make a new fire? Because if the fire all out, we will need them. And then he stopped shouting and swayed on his feet. Biggie was only just visible, bumping up from the beach. Ralph looked at the horizon and then up to the mountain. Was it better to fetch like now he's asking himself, is it good to take the glasses of Biggie to make a new fire? Or would the ship have gone? Like if all the fire was already put out, is there any time to make a new fire in order to make a new smoke, or the ship would have gone already? So, or if they climbed on, supposing the fire was all out, they had to watch Biggie scrolling nearer and the ship sinking under the horizon. So now what he did, he said that, oh God, like he didn't know what to do. He's not able to make a decision. Like, should he wait for Biggie to have his own glasses and go up quickly and make a new fire? Or there already fires there. What should he do? Or should he just keep shouting at the ship? So now everyone now was in a bad situation. Everyone now was in a bad situation because they didn't know what to do. The smoke was moving on. The ship was moving away. And then the fire was dead. When they go up the mountain, they found that the fire was dead. Again, I need someone to remind me. The fire represented what? What does the fire represent?
That anyone see the smoke and come.
To save them, right? So
Yes.
again, if you remember, we said that the fire represents their desire to go home, to go back to civilization, right?
Yes.
So if the fire is dead, it means their desire to go back is also dead. They do not like to go
Yes.
back. Other boys, not Ralph, Biggie, and Simon. We said that Ralph, Biggie, and Simon are not the same as others, unfortunately, children. But like now, think Simon, Ralph, and Biggie, they would love to be rescued. Yeah, Ralph loved the island and he said it's ours and so on. But this was at the beginning. But before, being exposed to hard work and being exposed to the indifference of other children, he said that nobody cares and he's disappointed. So he wanted to be saved. So now when they went out, they saw that the fire was dead. They saw that straight away, so that they had really known down on the beach when the smoke of the home had beckoned. The fire was out. They knew from the very beginning that the fire was out. You see, but they had to go in order to see. Smokeless and dead. There's no smoke in the fire, and it was dead. The watchers, why? The watcher of the fire, the hunters of Jack, were gone. They left it, and a pile of unused fuel lay ready. So it means that they left the fire and they left. Like they went swimming, they went hunting, they didn't care. Ralph turned to the sea. The horizon stretched impersonal once more, barren of all but the faintest trace of smoke. Like the ship left away. The ship left. So Ralph ran, stumbling along the rocks, saved himself on the edge of the bank cliff, and screamed at the ship. He started screaming, come back, come back. Now I'd like to imagine his feeling. Like, the ship is leaving and there was no way. And the only way is like he kept screaming, come back, come back. He ran backward and forward along the cliff, his face always to the sea, and his voice rose insanely. Like he was raising his voice insanely, like he was like a crazy person. Come back, come back. But for sure, Simon and Maurice arrived. Ralph looked at them with unwinking eyes. Simon turned away, smearing the water from his cheeks. Ralph reached inside himself for the worst word he knew. They let the bloody fire go out. So for them, this word is not good enough to use because it's swearing. But it was the worst word that Ralph could ever say. You see, he said that they let the bloody fire go out. It means the bloody fire, the fire is dead. He looked down unfriendly side of the mountain. Biggie arrived out of breath, and whimpering like a little one. Like Biggie is weak somehow. Yeah, he's scientific and he's wise, but let's say that he's weak because he wasn't healthy. So he kept whimpering and crying like a child. Ralph clenched his fist and went very red. His face was very red, extremely angry, and he was very bitter and pointed for him. There they are. So now at that moment, Jack and his hunter appeared. So now here we have the second turning point. So if you were Ralph, what would you feel? If you were Ralph, what would you feel? How would you feel? Sorry, how would you feel if you were Ralph?
Jack.
Yes, like yeah, he was extremely angry because like they had a mission. The mission was to keep the fire on while he was building huts. He was building shelters with Simon. But now the fire was dead and the ship left away. When he came, a procession, a group of children appeared far down among the pink stones, and some of the boys wore black caps. Wore means like the best of wear. They were wearing black caps, and they lifted sticks in the air together whenever they came to an easy patch. They were chanting, they were singing, something to do with the bundle that the errant twins carried so carefully. Ralph picked out Jack easily, even at that distance, tall, red-haired, and inevitably leading the procession. Yes, he saw Jack immediately. He was the tallest one of them with his red hair, and he was leading the procession. Procession means a group. Simon looked now from Ralph to Jack as he had looked from Ralph to the horizon, and what he saw seemed to make him afraid. Remember, Simon is afraid. Why do you think that Simon is afraid?
He thought that no one will come save them, and they will die.
No, listen. He looked from Ralph to Jack. He looked first from Ralph to Jack, and then he looked from Ralph to the horizon, and then what he saw seemed to make him afraid. He saw something that made him afraid. What do you
Okay,
think?
no. I think the snake that they talk about.
No. He saw the pig's head. What's pig's head? Like all the children after Jack painted his face and he compelled them to follow him, they were able to hunt a pig. So now Jack is extremely happy because he's bloody, and he likes hunting so much. And every time he was like, he loved to kill animals, but he couldn't because maybe he was civilized. He couldn't kill an animal, but now he forgot about his civilization. He painted his face like savage people. He had nothing to do with civilization. He felt free from civilization, and he killed a pig. Simon, as an angel, remember, Simon represents the angelic part. Angels hate blood, like angels do not like killing and hunting. So that's why he was afraid. Like, remember, like, think of him as an angel. So Ralph didn't say anything. He waited while the procession came nearer. The chant was audible, like the song was hearable. They were able to hear it. But at that distance, still wordless. They were able to hear them, but they didn't understand exactly what he said. Behind Jack walked the twins, carrying a great stake on their shoulder. The gutted carcass of a pig swung from the stake. So they killed a pig, and then they carried the pig, and with the pig's head hung down with gaping neck, and seemed to search for something on the ground. Like now, I'd like you to imagine they killed the pig and they put him on a stick and they carried it, and the pig's head was like hanging down. At least the word of the chant floated up to them across the bowl of blackened wall and ashes. Now here we're going to have a fire. Ralph opposite Jack. Ralph is extremely angry because like Jack and his hunters didn't fulfill their promise and they didn't keep the fire on. And Jack on the other side is extremely happy because
he become bloody.
Yeah, he became a hunter. He became a hunter. The question now is, what do you expect to happen?
Ralph will make a problem with Jack.
Ralph was okay, we'll see. To kill the pig, cut her throat, spill her blood. It was their chant. Their song was, kill the pig, cut her throat, spill her blood. Yet, as the words became audible, the procession reached the steepest part of the mountain, and in a minute or